Hello, guys. Welcome to another recorded meeting. If you are watching this video today, it's because you really love those meetings, and you have to be part of this for sure. I'm sorry, guys. So, I want to tell you today we are going to discuss the topic like child sexual abuse. Okay, just get comfortable and let's go ahead and do it. Okay, guys. One of those. One of those. Pronto, audio. One of those. I'm gonna go ahead and send the link to the group. And let's wait for the others. Oh yeah, today was a really interesting day, definitely. How are you today?
Hey, bro, I'm very well. And you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking.
What's new?
Live.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
what are you? Are you at work?
yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I'm work. Do you hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you very well. It's just a little background noise, but yes, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. How sober now? The cafeteria.
Oh, are you having supper?
Yeah,
Okay, can you hear me very well?
yeah, really work.
Perfect. So, what time do you normally get off from work?
Repeat the question, please.
What time do you normally get off from work?
Uh, about 12.
Okay, do they normally take you home?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Marcella, I miss you
Hello.
the past Monday.
How are you, Marcella?
I'm uh I'm okay. I almost fell asleep, but I'm okay.
And you know what? I was listening to some couple videos about the topic, and I fell asleep. And then I woke up, and when I took a look to my clock, it was like 8:58 on my time. And I
Uh-huh.
said, "Oh my god, I overslept the whole night, and now I'm late to work." And I was
Oh,
like,
it's
"Oh my
not.
god, my dad's still in bed. How come my alarm? I forgot my alarm." I spent like 2 minutes running around trying to get my boss number to call my boss to let her know that I just got late because I
Yeah.
overslept. And then I said, "Wait a minute, it's still dark outside. What? What? Okay, what time is it?" And then I was realizing it was that night.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I never knew that actually happened, but yeah, it happened to me today. Oh yeah, you look sleepy. Look at you.
I am sleepy. I'm okay. I'll be fine.
And
You guys
sleep.
have prepped me up.
Yeah, and sleepy too.
Yeah. uh, it's a good thing I didn't take my sleeping pill because I almost did.
Oh no no no! You know what happened to me? Every time that I when I go to the Chinese restaurant, the
Uh-huh.
same Chinese restaurant, and I eat, I don't know if it's the food, the sauce that they put or whatever. I got so sleepy. So yeah, even in the restaurant before leaving the restaurant, I was falling asleep.
Oh, really?
Yes, I need to talk to those people to see what's going on. What do they
See what
doing?
the see what they're putting in the food.
Yeah,
Marcela, you didn't
I
you didn't participate the last Monday. Why? I
I
miss it.
know. I was not in a very good mood, so it was not beneficial for me to be there.
Okay, okay. I'm missing you a lot.
I'd gotten some really bad news, so
did you break up with your boyfriend?
no, I
Oh,
didn't break up with my
that's not a
boyfriend.
personal question, bro.
If I had broken up with my boyfriend, I wouldn't be here tonight either.
Okay, just double checking.
I know.
Oh, I'm happy to see Victor over here because Victor, he's supposed to have an appointment today, and look at it, he's here. Maybe he's in the doctor office
Hey,
waiting.
hey, I just got out from there, and they just took off my top braces, and I cannot speak. Yeah, I have this thing in my mouth right now. Sorry about that.
Well, you sound pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, really? Thank you,
Yes, I can understand you.
That's good
thank
enough.
you.
That's good enough, right?
But I'm a bit listening to you guys. Hi,
No,
Joel. How's it going?
doing
Uh,
good.
How's
Also,
everyone?
I'm good.
sleepy.
Sleepy, be good.
Um, Also, just to let you know, there's the chat right there. Like, if you have any comment, questions, and you want to add something to the topic, you can type, and we can read it for you.
I was looking for that tool, but couldn't find it. I'm on my phone, like maybe on my laptop. I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah. It's a little different when you are in your phone. Let me ask Toribio. Toribio, what do you normally use for the meetings? Do you use your laptop or your cell phone?
I'm from my cell phone, but what's going on?
Normally, when you get on the meetings, do you do it through the laptop or your cell phone?
Depends. Right now, I'm eating, and I I'm actually eating, and I'm in the cell phone. But I like to be in the PC, in the computer because it's more comfortable for me.
Okay, you prefer the computer.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Marcella, it seems it's gonna be only us. So let's go ahead and do this.
Okay. You're supposed to read the topic. Why am I starting this out?
Oh, I need to read the topic again?
Yes.
Okay,
I
okay.
told you that's how we're doing this.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm still learning. Okay, I got it. Okay, good evening, everyone. This is Joel. For me, it's more than a pleasure being here with you guys to discuss the topic. What do you understand for child sexual abuse? Marcella?
Okay. So what you're basically asking is what is my understanding of child sexual abuse?
Yes,
Correct?
yes.
Okay. All right. Well, unfortunately, I have a personal experience with that. So I was sexually abused by my stepfather from the age of 6 to 17 when I moved away from home. And that's the only reason why it stopped is because I did move away from home. Um, as a 6-year old, you don't understand what's going on or what's happening. But as I got older, then I understood what was happening. And there was a time when I begged him to stop, and he stopped for maybe 2, 3 weeks, and then it started back again. So I tell my story in the hopes that if there's someone there that needs to hear what I have to say, then it helps that person. You have to understand, especially if it starts as a child, you're not at fault and you didn't do anything to cause it. You know, even if it happens to you as a teenager or a young adult, it's still not your fault, and you didn't do anything to cause it to happen. So many times people walk around with a tremendous amount of guilt because they think, well, if I hadn't done such and such and such and such, or if I had done this or that, then it wouldn't have happened. And you have to understand the fact that it's not your fault. You had no control over the situation. It's, I mean, I think the most horrific part of the whole experience was that my grandmother told my mom that it was happening, and my mom didn't believe me. She believed him. And I think for me, that was more horrific than the actual experience that I had gone through, because I just knew my mom would be there to support me and help me through the situation, and she wasn't. She was very angry with me to the point where I moved out of the house, because every day she was, I mean, I would get screamed at and yelled at and cussed at, and I couldn't take it anymore. So I moved in with my grandmother. And, my mom had nothing to do with me or my grandmother for a year. And finally, I moved out of my grandmother's house because my mom was my grandmother's only child. And I saw how much not having a relationship with my mom was hurting my grandmother. And so I just told my grandmother that I would find somewhere else to live and she could get back with my mom. As long as I wasn't in the picture, I knew that my mom would go back to having a relationship with her. My mom and I probably didn't talk for probably 3 to 5 years. She wanted nothing to do with me. When I got ready to graduate from college, she refused to come to my graduation. She would not allow my siblings to come to my graduation. So the only person who was at my college graduation was my grandmother and some friends of mine from church. So, I mean, it took a long time for my mother and I to have a halfway decent relationship. We do now, but it's not where I would like for it to be, but it's better than what it used to be. So, I mean, children of sexual abuse will turn out one or two ways. You're either going to grow up hating sex or you're going to grow up craving sex. Unfortunately, I was the one who grew up craving sex, and I sought it continuously all the time when I was in high school and college. And it wasn't until a very good friend of mine said to me, Marcella, you got to stop or something's going to happen to you. And I don't want to see anything happen to you. And so I mean, it's a taboo subject. People don't want to talk about it, but it's something that needs to be talked about, because you'd be astonished at the number of kids that have gone through that type of abuse in their lives. And so it needs to be out in the open. It needs to be something that's discussed and talked about so that kids don't feel like they're damaged goods. Because for a very long time, I felt like I was damaged goods. And it took a long time for me to look in the mirror and like the person who was looking back at me. So I mean, it's a very horrific experience, and people have to be open to the fact that kids will give you signs that something is not right. And you have to be open and you have to be willing to read those signs and realize that, hey, something's not right here. Something's going on. And what people don't realize is that many child abusers is someone that that child knows, and that it's not a stranger off the street. It's someone that child knows, and so that's what makes the experience even more horrific for children, because you're like, okay, why is this person doing this to me? So I mean, it's we have to be open to discussing this, because there are many children who are going through this every day, and we don't even realize that it's happening. Okay, I'll be quiet now.
Thank you, Michelle. But
You're welcome.
while you were talking, you went into the part that you said that your grandmother told your mom about what's going on, and she didn't believe you,
No,
and then she turned basically her back onto you because whatever. So I think that part right there is more frustrated because you feel that you don't have no voice. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Like, okay, I trust an adult. I let her know what's going on, what's happening, and once I do that, like, they don't believe me.
right,
They chose to believe the adult person.
right.
So I think right there, like, this is people destroying your confidence and your self esteem at the same time. Because this is you screaming for help in one or other way. And when you go to the person that's supposed to support you, like, no, they don't believe you. Just because what? Is there any kind of proof? Just because. I think that's the most horrible part of your story, according to me, right?
Yeah.
And you say that started when you were 6 years old until you were 16 or 17?
17, yeah.
Okay, so we are talking about what, like 1952, 1965?
Yeah, I was born in 57. So at 6 years of age, I would have been, it would have been 63.
Okay, great. So that means at that time, maybe this kind of topic was not that common. Okay, so what do you think now today it is? Do you think the pictures are
I
sensitive?
no, the topic is still not common. People don't want to talk about it. They really don't. I mean, it's a taboo topic, and it shouldn't be.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to ask. Like now in the culture of America, like, do you still feel it like that way? Like people when that's happening in their family, they feel ashamed to share the story because I like what you're doing. Look at you what you're doing here. You come here, we brought this topic, and then you just tell your story just because you want that if it's somebody's going through, they will know what to do according to your experience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but how do you see it actually in your culture, in your surrounding? Like,
And okay, I'll be honest, in the African American culture, child sexual abuse happens a lot. And I hate to say that, but it's true. And again, it's that taboo topic that no one wants to talk about and no one wants to discuss. Um, because I was shocked when I got around other African American people, and this subject was brought up, at the number of people that said they had been sexually abused by a family member. I mean, I was shocked, because when it's happening to you, you think you're the only one. You don't realize there's a whole group of people that are going through that same experience, because again, we don't talk about it. And unfortunately, and I don't know if that's true in other cultures, but I know in the African American culture, there's almost this standard of, if we don't talk about it, then it didn't happen.
hmm, but it's not like that exactly. We
No.
we we try to ignore to pretend that it didn't happen, but actually that's working inside of the person's life. It's like hurting people, but just in a quiet way. So, and something else that you said that I really liked, it's the child sexual abuse normally happens with people that the victim knows. So it's
Yes.
always somebody close by. It's not basically a stranger, which it can. In some cases,
Yeah,
yeah,
and it can't be. I'm not saying it doesn't happen by a stranger, but for the majority of people that go through child sexual abuse, it's by someone they know.
yep, that's what I'm saying. Or somebody close to the family, somebody which got access to the family, access to the
Right.
child. And okay, this is in the States, but me as Dominican, I can tell, like in Dominican Republic, nowadays is also a bit taboo. People don't talk about it. And there are some things that happen in my culture that we see it since we were growing up, and we see it as a normal. We normalize it, and we don't realize that there actually sexual abuse right there in those actions. And I'm gonna give you an example, okay? Just you can understand what I'm talking about. So I was raised for my grandmother because my mom was living in Aruba. She went there to look for a job, make more money, and send money to the house so we can have a better life. And my grandmother, she's a country lady, okay? She's from those times that if you're not virgin and you're not married, you need to leave the house. Basically, it was like that, right? So my siblings and my cousins, we all were living with my grandma. And sometimes what she used to do with my aunt, they used to go when we were sleeping at night. They used to go to our rooms and they used to take our pants off and they used to check our private parts just to make sure if we are having sex or not, or if we are intimating. Like boys and girls, everybody, they checking out in everyone. And I don't know how often they used to do that because I'm a heavy sleeper person. But one night I remember that I woke up while they were doing it. They were checking on me, and my aunt, she was checking on me. I don't know. I was maybe 6 years old or 7, and she was checking on me and she was touching my penis. And of course, I'm a biological person. So my penis, my body was responding to the stimulation, even I was like sleepy. Yeah, and I got a little hard, and I remember my aunt, she was still touching me. Like, look at the little trunky. Oh yeah, it's getting hotter. Like, okay, and like Marcella said, like I didn't know what was going on. I was just afraid because for me that was not normal, and I just pretend to be sleepy. You know what I'm saying? And I still got that picture about that what happened that day. And later in life, as an adult, I heard my brothers and my siblings talking about it, and they also realized there was something that actually happened so often. And I said, okay. I was in DR when I realized my siblings knew about it, but for me, it was not a big deal. Okay, they were checking on me. So for me, I saw something as a normal. But then after I'm coming to this culture and see how delicate things are, how even grooming is something considered like child sexual abuse, then I was thinking like, oh, that means that I was sexual abused when I was a child because I was touched without my consent. So I was touched when I didn't even know any kind of understanding about sex or whatever. So you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of things happening still in DR like that. Like we see it since we are kids. We normalize this in our brain, and for us, that's normal. And the horrible part is that sometimes we can actually replicate those behaviors and we do it to others because that's normal. So this is how it is because We don't talk about it. We don't educate the kids at school about it. So we don't create awareness about this kind of topic in DR. Something that I like here from Canada, it's like a daycare to my kids, for example. They teach the kids about private parts. They teach them like in the kids language, like, okay, don't let anybody touch your private parts. If you're going to pee, try to be covered, nobody see your private parts. You know what I'm saying? Like, just creating the kind of awareness. You know what I'm saying? We don't do that in DR. So I
And they do the same thing here in the States. Is that, I mean, they will start as young as preschool and kindergarten, teaching kids what good touch is and bad touch is, and that no one has a right to touch your private parts without your permission. So yeah, I mean, we're starting to teach kids so the kids are aware that yeah, when this happens, there's something wrong, and you need to tell someone.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And something that I remember, one time my sister, she's an adult, she's 3 years older than me. She shared in a story when we brought this topic up. The In my family, we always belong to the church, okay? And living in my grandma's house, that was normal having people from church always around, even like on Saturday or Sunday. They used to have the youth group that they used to come to my grandma's house because my aunt was the president of the youth group at that time. And it was this guy. I remember this guy because he was a really good friend and close to the family. Every time he used to go to my grandma's house, he loved to ask for my sister. Oh, what's the little, we call it Negrita, my sister? What's the little Negrita? What's the little Negrita? And she used to come to him. He used to hug him and even kiss him on the cheek or whatever. But it was a time that my sister like was used to hide from him. We never understood why. Okay,
Mhm.
because all the time that they sit together physically, we were surrounded people. They never were alone. And then my sister said that she remember very well that what happened is when you used to hug him, he used to touch his boobies, like in a really like smart and malevolent way, so nobody noticed it. He used to touch her. So when she realized about it, she didn't feel comfortable. She didn't feel that was right, and then she used to hide. When she tried to speak up, so they didn't believe her because that was the guy from the church. He was really strict and straight in the church. So, and look at how things can create trauma into kids' life. That since that day, my sister never liked this guy, and now she's an adult. The guy, it's old, and she can't stand this guy ever after that. And he was from the church. Vitor.
Hey, how's it going?
Okay, great. You found the box. Cool. Um,
Good.
would like to participate tonight? Even you cannot talk very well.
Let me take this out. 1 second. Oh, there you go. I was gonna add up a story about from this relationship I had like 3 years ago. We broke up like 2 years and a half ago, and she had two children, and it was a 9 years old girl and a 3 years old kid. And well, I still love them. They were like my children. I don't have any children, by the way. And I used to change his diapers, the ones of the little one. And Um, so the girl sometimes was watching me changing his diapers, and sometimes she was making comments like, "Hey, don't touch his genitals" or something like that. And I was like, "Dude, I have to do it since he had like a rash or something." Sorry. And yeah, that's delicate, yeah, when you're doing those kind of things and they're not your biological family. And they were this girl, the little one, was going to the psychologist every week. And well, I wasn't scared about that, since yeah, it's really complicated when, yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know what else to say.
Well, for being honest, I would be like scared if I were you, um,
Yeah, yeah.
because kids sometimes it's like we were saying they teach in a daycare and preschool about private parts, and for example, they can misunderstand what's going on, like you changing a diaper, and they can bring this up to the psychologist or something like, my mom's boyfriend was touching my brother. That's gonna be rough love right there,
Right.
and sometimes it's so delicate because it's gonna be your words against the little girl words. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you because I work with kids, okay? And sometimes
Mm.
I need to do hygiene to the kids at school, to my students, and I need to take them to the washroom, and I need to close the door. So there's this kid that I have to do hygiene with him every morning, and oh my gosh, like I didn't feel comfortable because I'm coming from the north, and in the north right there, like there's a lot of kids that are sexual abuse, and they are good using their words. They
Mm.
know those kids know how to use their words. They know how to get you in trouble. Line. So I learned that in the north when I was working at school, just to be very careful with the kids, what I'm saying. And now they put me here with this kid to do hygiene. And I said, okay, I don't feel comfortable doing this. So what I was trying to do when I was just shut the door, I was trying to talk to the kids, like try to talk aloud inside of the washroom. If it's somebody's close by, can hear me that I'm talking. So in a way, and then I did it 3 times. I didn't feel comfortable at all. Thanks God the kids is really good. He's a really good kid. I just went and talked to the my manager and said, "Listen, this is what's going on. I have to help this kid because he always have like poop pains every morning. He's smelly, so I need to check his. I have to check his asshole to look and wipe it up and all this stuff every morning. But I don't feel comfortable because then if he brings something up, even at home, I'm gonna get in trouble, even if it's a lie. Like, and then my manager said, okay, so what you can do, you can try to leave the door open and just put like a cone or something so people know that you here, they don't get close, and then see you say, cool, great. I did a couple times, and thanks God, they changed me the student, gave me someone else that doesn't need to do hygiene. But I didn't feel comfortable at all. You know what I'm saying? Because that can even affect my profession if it's I get accused about something like that. Then you have to be like an observation to see if what the kid is saying is actually true and what. I don't want to be in that situation at all. So I wouldn't feel comfortable. So Toribio, would like to participate today?
Uh, while you was talking about this topic, I was thinking in a situation, but it's a little bit difficult for me to explain. But I would try it. I try it. When I was a child, maybe I was under 10 years old. I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 or something. I was in the I don't know how can I say that. Sorry, but not the situation, but because it's a situation that I need to explain it. And I wasn't living in Santo Domingo. I was living in Santiago Rodriguez. This is a city of the Dominican Republic, another city. and I was with cousin, if I can say it that way, cousin, like yeah, a prima, right?
A cousin, yes.
Yeah, cousin, and she was she is more older than me, and she was touching me for to anywhere, that was creepy for me, and that's so weird. I never forget that situation because it was so weird for me. I didn't know why she was doing that, and after literally 20 years ago, uh
20 year
I know
after,
why. What? Yeah,
20
sorry.
20 year later, right? 20 years later.
20 years later, yeah, 20 years later, I already know why she was doing that, and that because she was exposed to uh porn, and and something like that, and someone did to her, uh someone, I don't know how can I explain that, but she was someone close to her, that received money to
Mm,
any other man's toucher. I don't know if I say
yeah, she was groomed. She was groomed by
Yes.
someone
something
else.
like
Yep.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yep. That's what I was gonna say.
yeah.
yeah,
And most kids that are sexually abused are very well groomed.
Hmm.
yeah. She was abused in this way, and she was uh, actually in the same way that she was doing the same in his house with me, but I didn't know when I was a child. I didn't know why. I was thinking after adult why she was doing that to me, and I was always I was always, against her, you know because this I didn't talk to her about this through these years, but after 20 years later, I realized that she was abused in that way. She was exposed to porn. She was someone was taking money for for some for she. I don't know how can I explain that, but you understand why my
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
She was abused literally for adult men's. She was a child, and I didn't know her.
And
I don't even know, and I was I was thinking it was his it was his fault, her fault. Because I was really really weird for a long time, because I always I was always thinking in that situation that she did to me, and that was really tough for me. I don't know, and I don't even wanted to speak to her today. I don't like to talk to her because
yeah,
I always when I talk to her, these images, come to me, and that's a little bit difficult. And it's my cousin. I know she's my cousin, but it's a little bit difficult, because she was touching me without my permission, and I don't even told with anyone about this situation, even with my mom. She doesn't know about that actually, and it's a little bit difficult to speak to her. But now I realize that she was, abused about this situation, and that's because she was doing this to me.
she was
It it,
replicating the
it
behavior.
wasn't his fault. It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't her fault. It wasn't her fault.
That's really interesting what you just explained.
Yeah.
And now that made me think that you're right. Most of the time, like kids are sexual abused in young age, they replicate their behaviors. Some of them they don't do it
Yeah.
right
Exactly.
away, but they do it later when they become adult. They become the same
Yeah.
thing. They keep the trauma and they keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? And something else that you brought to me was the grooming part. So in Dominican Republic, grooming is so normal. Grooming it's when you give kids something to maliciously touch them or getting closer to you. So in Spanish we say echarle maíz hasta que crezca. That's grooming. In Spanish we have that expression in Dominican Republic. So let me explain to you, Marcela. This is so normal in DR, grooming, so normal, like that sometimes you see like adults grooming like 16, 14, and 13 years old girl. Parents know. Everybody see it. And I'm just waiting for her. We said it in Spanish, this saying like, I'm just feeding the chicken until it grows up to eat it. That's how we say it in Spanish. But that's grooming, because you've been nice, you buying cell phone, you buy this for her, you buying clothes, but everybody know the intention what you're doing. Parents know about it. So sometimes the teenager comes home with a new cell phone and she doesn't work, and parents know where the cell phone coming from. So, and this is so
So,
normal there.
The case that I was talking, it was his own brother. She was receiving money to to let those men's do that to her. That's awful. And right now they are enemies to die.
Oh,
Literally, bro.
her brother, was receiving
Yeah.
money to allow other men to touch his sister.
Yeah. Yeah.
so basically,
And right
her
now
brother
they
was.
are enemies. They don't talk. They don't talk each other. They don't talk one to each other in any way. They are literally enemy. They don't can see her. She can see her. She can see him, and he can see her. You know what I mean?
They cannot see each other.
It. Yeah, they cannot see each other. It's and nobody knows why exactly, because they don't explain it to anyone.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I know it. I knew. I know that because uh, 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 I was involved in a situation that was uh, came to me the opportunity to tell to someone close to her that explained to me that that's a little bit, you know I don't know how can I explain that, because that was recently. I know that recently, that maybe that was maybe 3 weeks ago. I realized that, and I was talking with someone close to her and told me that, and I didn't get that yet. I'm in shock, and now I realize why she was doing that to me when I was a child, and I was always angry against her. Against to her. Yeah, I was always mean to her because that, but I didn't know, and I now I already know why she was doing that to me, because she was exposed to that, and she gonna repeat that.
Hmm.
It's a child. It's a child.
And like I was saying before, even nowadays, that's normal. Like
Yeah, yeah. That's
I don't know if you remember Toribio and Peter, like in DR, that teenager that it was she died. She went out with his teacher, her math teacher. She went out with her math
yeah.
teacher
Esmeralda.
and a friend.
Her name is Esmeralda.
She
Yeah, I
came
know.
back home bleeding from the vagina.
Yeah, yeah.
She bled out till death in the bath, in the tough bath.
In his
They
house.
they still now say they don't know what happened. But
Yeah,
according
and
according
Chico,
but
Between quads.
But
You
And
know what I
she called
mean?
her friend. She called her friend to explain what's happening with her vagina, and the friend didn't do anything, and then she died.
no, but you know what was the worst part? Not the friend. Is that the teacher used to go really often to pick her up from their parents' house to go out. That was not the first time. And the parents knew
Exactly.
about it. So this is how normal it is. Like he was
So
grooming.
the parents were okay with the teacher picking her up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she was doing classes. That was the the explanation of their fathers of her fathers. I was of her parents. I was in shock when I heard that that story. This is completely awful, man.
Yeah, yeah, and that's
Really
not even
awful.
the one case. It was after that there was more cases that came out in different school district that teachers were having relationship with the students.
Yeah,
They were checking out the students' cell phones, and they realized like a big thing going on, like two, three teachers having a relationship with the same student. Parents know.
And the parents knew
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and they
yeah.
did nothing.
But
That's the problem here.
Marcella,
Oh my
Marcella,
goodness.
That's the problem.
you got a daughter, and your daughter come home with a brand new iPhone. Where does your daughter got your phone? What she's gonna tell you? She got it because she got good grades at school? No, they knew about it. So, and they see it normal. That's normalized over there. And something else that I saw one time, I remember I was 12, and it was this guy in the neighborhood. He got a daughter, newborn, maybe it was like 6 months old daughter. The daughter was naked. He was outside from his house with the daughter naked, and he was giving kisses to the daughter in the vagina outside. Like,
At 6 months of age.
yes, 6 months. Oh, you look so cute, so cute. Mwah. Oh, so cute, mwah. And the vagina.
Oh my God, he'd be a dead man.
Yes, yeah, that's that kind of normal things. Like, and it was not like he was doing like, oh my God, nobody see me. No, it was people around walking because I was walking and I saw
And
him.
no
That's
one
because
said
the devil need
anything.
No,
to end
What?
this world, man.
that's what I'm
Right,
telling you.
right away.
That's what I'm telling you. People do sexual abuse and they don't even realize they're doing it because we normalize a lot of things.
Gee,
And he was like, "Oh,
Christmas.
it's so cute, so cute," mwah, mwah, in the vagina.
That's a 6-month-old baby.
Yeah,
That's a baby.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. No, I do never want to go to the DR now.
Oh, but this is not happening in the streets like normal. But the the problem is the parents. It's a little bit complicated, but not happen to everyone. There's some kind of parents, different parents.
It's because of mentality. They don't see it like a big deal.
Yeah,
Like, no, like, you know,
yeah.
just like that, like normal. Peter, how are you today?
I'm tired.
Me
How
too.
about yourself?
I'm good.
Me too, brother.
So it's your
I
turn,
was going to
Peter.
say, join the club.
Yeah, enjoy the club. It's your turn, Peter.
Okay. Well, I don't have like any experience like that.
Well, thank
Uh,
goodness.
yeah, yeah. Well, but I know that something happened in this neighborhood. This neighbor. So somebody right here, I mean, that was he's living close to where you lived, Juan. I don't know his name, but he was a really dark person, and he used to hug a baby little girl,
How old?
and
How old?
to bring the phone. That person used to bring the phone to make the little girl be quiet. And you know what he used
Um,
to do?
Mm,
put the finger under the dress, under the clothes, right?
yeah, under her dress. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that's horrible.
That's
And
insane,
when,
man.
yeah, this is insane. Yo, and when the
Excuse me.
parents
They were
catch that
family.
guy,
They were family. They were related. Or he was a neighbor. What?
no, they were it was a friend. It was a family friends, a
Okay.
family friend, and that man was caught. I don't know by who, by uh the baby daughter, but he was caught, and he was in jail, and he only was in jail for 2 years. In 2 years, he was freed because he was innocent. But guess what? Guess what? It was because he paid. I mean, his family paid an amount of money, a really amount of money, to be freed,
No, no,
and the little girl accept those money.
no, no, no. He paid the guy paid to the family, to the victim family money. Like just drop the case, drop the charges, and they took
Yeah,
the money.
they
But
took the money,
but you
and
are talking about a
they
case
removed the
here
la
in the
querella. I don't know how to say
The
that in English.
charges. The charges. They removed the
charges.
charges.
Yeah, charges.
The charge. They removed the family removed that and said that he's
But
innocent.
you are speaking about the case here in the Los Rios, right?
That's what he's talking
He
about.
was near. He was
He
near to
live
you.
right here in front of my mom house. I know who you are talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And you
of
know what?
course.
You know
And I
who's
know.
who?
Oh, I know all the case.
All the
Yeah,
case.
man.
Yo, I don't know. You gotta explain that better. But I know a piece of cake, a little bit about that case. But I is that is the one of the insane thing, insane case that I know. And you know what? I was starting with someone, with a lady in the same grade in the school. And you know what that lady was saying? Um, he's my cousin, but I know he's innocent. He's he's gonna be free. I know for sure. He knows every single thing that happened, and he was, um, he was. How can I say that? La estaba defendiendo.
Yeah, he was defending. She was defending
Yeah,
his cousin.
yeah. That was insane. That was insane, bro. And really sad. Yeah, that happened. That
That's a,
happened. He
that
only
that's
spent.
another that's another thing. Like sometimes parents, I don't know, like they see the money, they drop the charges. And some other parents, they use their kids, the girl, just to get money for it. Percent
Yeah,
charges, and then like that's you can see that a lot. And
Well,
sometimes,
you're prostituting your child.
yeah, yeah, basically, yeah. Hmm.
No, it's not basically, that's what you're doing.
And you know what? Something that was normal couple years ago in DR, it's like a guy. He used to take a girl of 13 or 14 years old, and he go living with her together, and the guy is an adult. I don't know if they're still
that
doing
still
it,
happened.
but that used to be normal right
Yeah,
there. Normal.
that still happen.
No
Not
charges, no
was
nothing.
13, but
Yeah,
but
13 or
16,
14.
17.
Yeah.
That still happen. That still happen.
One day the girls get out or go to school, she never come back home. 3 days later, they realize she just moved to the guy, and the guy is an adult.
Yeah, something similar happened. I know the little girl. He right now nowadays she's 18, but that is I'm talking about something that just happened 2 years ago. She was 16. She was almost 16, something like that, and she disappeared. Nobody knew where
Why
she
she
was
went?
located, and uh, even the mother reported to the police that nobody knows where she
That
is
she was
located.
missing. Yeah.
Yeah, she was missing. And after 3 days after that, that little girl posted a video on Facebook saying that I'm right here in a result, mom. So I'm sorry, but I'm not going there until 3 days later.
She went to a
What?
hotel, to a
Who
resort.
pay? Who pay that? You know, she doesn't work. Who paid that? Of course, it was a adult, to do creepy things. But shit,
Can
bro.
I tell you something interesting about that? You know that
Yeah, in
I
our
used
neighborhood, up in a lot of
but guess
weird
what?
things.
I used to go to DR and I always go to the resort, but I take my nephew with me. Okay. Then my niece, couple months later, I was on the phone and she talked to me and told me about that. You know what? Like you don't love me because every time you come here, you take Benjamin to resort, you take him to different places, you hang out with him and nothing with me. She for hurt about it. And I said, listen, sweetie, you have to understand something. Benjamin, first of all, he's a male and he's an adult. So picture this. How can you imagine me going with you to a resort when you're 14 years old and I'm an adult and we rent a room together? So what people's gonna think about it? You know, I love her like a little sister, but the picture from other, it won't be looking good. You know what I'm saying? And then I brought that, and she was like, "Oh, I didn't think about it." I said, "Yeah, that's why I never take you to resort. But now that you are 18, yes, I can even take you to Colombia, no problem. But now when you're underage, I'm not taking you to a resort." So yeah, and it's like that. Even with my niece, that we raised my niece. You know what I'm saying? So I would never do that at all. Um,
Yeah, I do the same thing to me. I take care of myself a lot about that. I don't touch girls. I don't hug girls. You know,
Yeah,
uh, young girls in any way. I don't take care of their. You know
yeah.
what?
I
I,
don't.
I
I don't
mean,
even
if
look.
if his
I don't. I
mother or
don't even
his
look
father,
like.
yeah.
yeah, I don't. If her father, if her parents ask me to take care of her for some
Yeah.
hours or
Nobody can
minutes,
even say
whatever,
hi to
I
a
don't gonna do that. I'm really sorry.
any
Go
girl.
for another person, but I'm not gonna do that. I
Find
don't take care of
find
girls.
another victim. Okay, just hold on. Ardeline, are you there? Anderlin, can you hear me, Ardeline? Can you talk? So, hello. Okay, it seems that he cannot talk. Um,
I want to do an explanation about the case. Uh, Peter was explaining. Peter, if you don't know, he was doing that to
Hi everyone.
two different girls.
Can you hear me now?
yeah,
Really?
yes,
Yeah, better.
Oh, sorry. I connect by my
You know.
computer and there is any problem. Well, I don't have many to speak or many to talk. Just today's topic was amazing, really amazing. But we haven't taken about uh, the reasons. Uh, the speakers say that one of the reasons could be because uh, they themselves are being sexually abused by someone or have viewed sexually explicit materials and they are acting out what they saw. Many people are not capable to heal any childhood trauma and they cause those trauma to others. However, we are the responsible to heal ourselves because it's not good to damage others, blaming the past fast. It's all.
Thank you for the Ardeline. And like we said, like they repeat the behavior when they are sexual abuse as well. Thank you for that.
Yeah, yeah.
So Toribio, you were saying?
Yeah, I was saying it's, about the case Peter was talking, and the person abused two different girls. The problem he was just judged for one of her because the parents of the other did, didn't didn't
Didn't present
take
charges.
charge.
They didn't present
Yeah,
charges.
they didn't present charge about him. That's the problem. But he was doing that to two different girls,
Yeah, but you know why they didn't present charges? For two reasons. They see as a normal,
and
and the other
his
thing is
family,
it they not
in his family.
okay. Okay, that's that's all the thing. When a person says or abuse somebody in the family, that divide the family as well. I don't know if it's that happened to you, but that divide the family. The family got in two different ways. One which is defend the victims, the other one which is defend the aggressor. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, yeah. But you know how the justice work here. You know, he was in
okay,
he
okay.
was
Hold on,
sentenced to
hold on.
about 5 years.
Juan,
Okay, okay,
we got two
okay.
minutes left. I don't know if you
Yeah, yeah.
want. If the minutes go up, I resend the link again, and we can be longer for 15 minutes, or what? It depends of you.
No, I need to go. I need to go right now.
Okay, keep going then.
Yeah.
Keep going.
No, but I was saying, he was just uh judged for 5 years and for good, behaviors in the cell or inside the cell or inside the prison. If you have good, behavior inside there, you can
Good
you can
behavior.
down your you
Yeah.
can down your content. I don't know, like your years in prison. I don't know. Sorry.
Juan, it's good
Sounds
behavior.
bad.
If you do good
Yeah,
behaviors, yeah.
yeah. A
And
really
if
good
you
behavior.
pay, yeah,
Good
and if you pay,
behaviors.
they
If
drop
you
the
pay for
they
behavior,
drop
if you pay for
yeah
for your behavior.
they drop the charges too. That's what happened.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's really sad. That's really sad.
Guys, for some reason I feel we need to continue this topic for the next recorded meeting.
3, 2, 1.
And yes, guys, that was our meeting. I hope that my participants will be interested in keep the topic for the next recorder meeting. That was awesome. If you get here into the video, thank you so much for that, and let me know what you think about it. Bye bye.